Why settle for just continuing to spin everybody up into a frenzy based on your own unsourced assertions, when you can source your assertions to a sitting member of the United States Congress who is going to come on your program on Facebook and tell everybody a whole news story that's even better, and that incidentally justifies even more radical direct action to try to keep Trump in the White House. So Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert, this event November 12th, he comes on and he was like, I see your made-up NSA supercomputer fantasy. I call your shadowy communist-controlled voting system software, but I raise you. I have a new one. I raise you a U.S. Army commando raid in Germany that is going to fix all of this, even though in my story, the Army are the bad guys.
I had information from some of our former intel people that there was extremely compelling evidence that could be gleaned from Scytl, that's SCYTL. That's a company headquartered in Barcelona, Spain, that was responsible for aggregating all the information from all the machines and whatnot. That information as to how many votes were switched from Republican for Democrat would have been easily established from the information that Scytl gathered, and what were the votes going in and which ones were changed going out. It turns out I don't know the truth. I know that there was a German tweet in German saying that on Monday, U.S. Army forces went into Scytl and grabbed their server. There's some that believe this is the U.S. intelligence that manipulated all this in order to cover their own rear ends.
The U.S. Army goes to Germany and seizes the server from a Spanish company. Because this is the server the Spanish company in Germany had used to switch in America all the votes from Republican to Democrat. It was the record of the whole thing. And the Army, let's see if I follow this. Army got the got the Spanish server out of Germany. That was the server that somehow fixed the election to make it look like Biden won when really Trump won. And now the U.S. Army has the server. And that's good news, right? No, that's bad news, because the Army is also the bad guy here because Intel is covering their butts. What? That was the theory from Congressman Louis Gohmert on November 12th. The Military Times actually did a great job documenting how this particular Trump world conspiracy theory continued to evolve over the course of the next couple of weeks in November, so that by December, it wasn't just the Army going in to seize the server from this company. Instead, the server was being guarded at a CIA facility. The CIA was protecting it, and there was a firefight. And on the other side of the firefight was a U.S. military intelligence battalion working for Trump lawyer Sidney Powell. She was like their commanding officer, maybe. And that battalion, the 305th Military Intelligence Battalion, which is in real life a real thing, in this conspiracy theory was commanded by Sidney Powell, the lady in the leopard print cardigan, and they went to Germany and physically fought it out, a shooting war with the CIA to get the servers that would reveal all about how the election was stolen. And somehow in the continued evolution of this story in November of 2020, the U.S. Army soldiers, under the command of Trump lawyer Sidney Powell, they were somehow elevated to special operations forces. And then the final, as far as I can tell, the final iteration of it was that in this firefight where it was Sidney Powell's Army commandos versus the CIA, multiple Sidney Powell commanded special operations commandos were killed in this operation. At least 5 of them were killed. And it was all covered up, and their bodies were disappeared. Because what was on the server? Well, Trump world found out. Turns out on the Trump server, the server from Germany, it was the real election results, as seen on this map, obtained by dude on Twitter. And as you can see in this map, Donald Trump secretly won the election with more than 400 electoral votes, including the electoral votes from California, which in reality is a state that Trump lost by nearly 30 points. But the secret server in Germany tells a different story. Of all the Trump world conspiracy theories after the election, this one about the German servers and the military thing was definitely the most baroque and maybe the most insane. And here's a sitting member of Congress, Congressman Louis Gohmert, promoting this, of course, on Facebook, also on a conservative TV channel called Newsmax. It was also featured on One America News. That network even broadcast a picture of the map that was supposedly found on the servers that were seized in the raid. The company that was supposedly at the heart of this conspiracy theory, they had to put out a statement. That must have struck them as insane to even have to write. They're like, yeah, number one, we don't actually tabulate votes in U.S. elections at all. Number two, we don't have any offices or any servers or anything else in Frankfurt, Germany. Number three, no one has seized anything from us, let alone the U.S. military. What else are we supposed to say here? This is insane. But, I mean, think about the implications of what they were promoting here. And they were widely promoting this particular conspiracy about the election. Trump supporters were being told, when they were being shoveled this junk, was that there was a military operation underway already to keep Trump in the White House, to reveal the truth about the stolen election. It's a military operation already. Members of the U.S. military already dead in the service of this battle for truth. It's maybe already the start of a war. I mean, you wonder why they were spun up enough to do what they did on January 6th, right? They had been told by all of these voices of authority in Trump world that the war was on, that blood was already flowing, that patriots had already given their lives to stop the steal, to prove that Biden hadn't really won the election. They were primed to use force with nonsense like this by being told you won't be the first. Other patriots have already died for this. And that's the really serious part of it, as ridiculous as it is. The ridiculous part of it is still just as ridiculous, right? One of the guys who promoted this concept specifically online is someone who runs a company that is called Cyber Ninjas. This is the Cyber Ninjas website. Oh boy. Here we go. Yeah, that's their homepage. Just rest your eyes there for a second. Ninja costume, red alert. If you scroll down off that landing page, this is the next thing that you get to. Do you have a cyber ninja on your side? I don't know, but if I do, I hope he's not wearing gigantic baggy leather gloves while he's trying to type on my Mac laptop while it's turned off. This company, Cyber Ninjas, a company run by an online proponent of the QAnon conspiracy theory and an online proponent of the fantasy that there was a secret war between the army and the CIA in Germany where the secret servers that stole the election for Biden were seized and everybody died and it's all been covered up and we can't find their bodies because the deep state is doing it. But we have the map that shows the server. Online proponent of that conspiracy theory runs this company, Cyber Ninjas, which has now just been hired. They're now doing this. They have just been hired by the people of the state of Arizona via the Republican-controlled Arizona Senate. They are being paid with taxpayer dollars in Arizona to recount all the 2020 presidential election ballots in the largest county in Arizona. In Arizona, a majority of voters live in just one county, Maricopa County, where Phoenix is. In November, Maricopa County, and indeed Arizona as a whole, voted for Joe Biden for president. And as much as Trump supporters may not like that, it's true. There's already been an audit by a federally accredited firm of the vote in Maricopa County, a forensic audit of the vote. There was a hand recount in Maricopa County overseen by both political parties. The Board of Supervisors in Maricopa County, which has 5 members, 4 of which are Republicans, they voted unanimously to certify that Joe Biden won the election. But not anymore. Now, in late April, the Cyber Ninja guy from the secret server in Germany, secret commando raid, war conspiracy thing, Arizona Republicans sued to allow his company, him and his company, to have another look at what happened in Arizona back in November. And they have actually turned over all of the real ballots, more than 2 million ballots cast in Maricopa County. So the Trump conspiracy theory guy, the QAnon secret server war guy, can see what he thinks happened, so he can give the real result from the Arizona election. This is really happening. I should mention the Cyber Ninjas guy is going to be working alongside another stellar choice by Arizona Republicans, a Republican former state representative from Arizona who personally went to D.C. on January 6th for the festivities there because he said that he was a Trump elector from Arizona. Now, Trump didn't win Arizona, so the electors from Arizona were actually the Biden ones. But on the day that Congress was certifying the election results and tallying up the Electoral College votes, this guy went to D.C. as an Arizona Trump elector, because he contended that Arizona's Trump electors should be counted, because Trump should be awarded the state's votes in the Electoral College. So he was there that day. The count, you may recall, was delayed that day by the mob attack on the Capitol, which temporarily stopped the counting, but he was there in person. So Arizona would have its electoral votes counted for Trump. He was there January 6th. And he's also now announced that he will be working on this recount of Arizona votes that started today. And you know, Joe Biden is president of the United States. Whatever they do in Arizona is not going to make him not president of the United States. But what they are doing in Arizona, what has Trump world like electrified right now, all newly energized with the fantasy that Trump will, as yet, be reinstated as president and Biden will be exposed as a usurper or whatever. I mean, what they just started today at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix is going to be used by Trump world to try to claim forever that Trump secretly won Arizona and he secretly won the election and Biden is illegitimate as a president. And they will use what they are starting here to contend that for years. They're going for it. That's what Trump world is. And of course, Trump world is still essentially in control in the Republican Party. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.